I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 10.
At 1 year old, so this is my 18th year being a diabetic.
I've had diabetes for 6 years now.
48 years.
For 7 years. I look forward to it all year. It's one of the best parts of my summer.
This year is our largest year of camp, 2012. We have almost 160 campers, ranging in age from 3rd graders all the way up to 12th graders.
In the United States, diabetes has become perhaps the #1 health problem throughout the nation. It's just growing by leaps and bounds. And because it's affecting every community, Lions has gotten involved with diabetes education. And just fortunately in our district is Camp Leo. So we identified with this agency in our district and decided that we would support that.
There are 3 things. There is the family spirit that's here. The other core essence is that we are dedicated to camp for diabetes. And the third is that we don't ever turn anyone away because they can't pay.
We're able to do that because of the Lions Clubs and because of the generous funding that we've received from them as well as from other foundations.
As we've gone and toured other diabetes camps, there is no other camp anywhere that has more Lion volunteers and more Lion contributions than Camp Leo. So we've become sort of a model for other people.
As far as the leaders of camp, no one is paid. We're all volunteers, and it's all done because they love it. They love the kids. They love seeing something big be created.
The acceptance of living with a chronic condition that I think happens not easily for any of us, and it comes and goes throughout our whole life, but knowing that they have that support is what affects them the rest of their life.
The absolute original idea was to have a place where kids with diabetes could go where they were the norm.
Everybody's going through the same experience. Everybody has to check their blood sugars and test and give insulin all at the same time. They all have to take breaks in their day for diabetes, and they all know exactly what you're going through.
Everybody's there was just like me, and I didn't feel different for once. I didn't feel like I didn't belong. I felt like I really fit in.
I came here 2 months after I was diagnosed. They literally raised me as a diabetic.
Going from like a camper to a counselor in training to counselor really taught me patience between caring for other diabetics and caring for my own diabetes.
Being a CIT is really important, not only to the campers, but it also really has a big impact on the CITs themselves.
And that is just so fun to watch. Someone that was a camper go up and lead a campfire or lead the board meeting or lead camp when you say go on and do great things.
There's a heritage that is going to live on. I live to mentor others to take my place.
The skills that we're talking about are things like problem solving. How do you avoid conflict between campers? Well, that applies to normal everyday life as well. We talk about responsibility and maturity and setting positive examples.
Who steps up? Well, kids who have a little maturity and experience doing something responsible. So from that aspect, this camp, does more than just teach them how to deal with diabetes. It helps them become productive citizens even quicker.
Well, right now I'm going to college at Pacific Lutheran University on a full ride. A lot of colleges nowadays really like volunteer service, really like to see that you're, committed to your community and you care about others. And it was through Camp Leo that they saw that I'm a caring person and I care about helping other people. I don't think I'd be in college without Camp Leo.
The fact that they're diabetic, they have this additional responsibility that they have to maintain and they have to control.
We also have a medical director every year at camp, several registered dietitians, as well as pharmacists, pharmacy students, administrative support staff, activities support staff. And the really neat thing is that almost all of those people are also diabetic. So we have a lot of years of experience in dealing with diabetes.
I've really tried to be a role model to my campers, so I try and test my blood sugar with them and, figure out my insulin, even if it's easier for me to figure out my insulin just right off the bat than it is for them, I still go through everything so that I'm setting an example for them.
And when they're around other people that are doing it all the time, there's more acceptance with that and say, I can do this. I can check it 4 times a day. Some people, they really like to see new things.
I also learned about like continuous glucose monitors and pumps. I didn't even know those existed before I came here.
I did a new sight change on my back. I normally never do it here. Usually I throw a fit and take like 30 minutes before I try it somewhere new. But with all the medical people there, I felt really good about doing it.
Got a lot better at carb counting and being more precise with my insulin and things like that. We have a really good schedule of eating at the same time every day and checking our blood at the same time, which I don't really have at home.
There might be a little more incentive to improve their diabetes management, but I still feel like the biggest change is they leave a little more empowered to take care of themselves.
It teaches kids at a young age to stay determined, to stay focused, and to persevere even when times get really hard. And so I think that really has stuck with me all these years thanks to diabetes and coming to camp.
It's more than a family, it's a safety net really for diabetics. And our goal is to be able to serve even more.
You felt perhaps it was one of the best days you spent all year helping somebody who needed help, and you looked at these kids giving themselves an insulin shot and coming together as a group, and you said, wow, this camp is doing something to help people.
The chief needs are more medical support and more financial support to grow, to help support others with diabetes.